in the marble-lined halls of the Al Hakim International Conference Center, where oil tycoons, diplomats, scholars, and CEOs gathered under chandeliers made of Bohemian crystal. There was an unmistakable energy in the air. Everyone had gathered for one purpose: to listen, to network, to be seen. This event was not merely a meeting, it was a performance of global status. Wrapped in tradition and spectacle, the air smelled of oud and ambition. It was the annual Al Hakim Philanthropy Summit, an elite gathering of minds, power, and global influence. Though well into his 60s, his eyes were alert, observant, always scanning. She wore the uniform of the housekeeping staff, a plain black dress with a white apron, and a headscarf pinned modestly. Her posture was respectful, her steps measured. She refilled glasses, straightened napkins, adjusted cushions, and remained largely invisible. Silence fell instantly. His presence had that effect. With no male guardian, Amira had taken on the burden of supporting her two younger brothers and ailing mother. The university's scholarship she had earned was never used. Instead, she cleaned floors, served coffee, and translated menus to earn money where she could. He was known not just for his staggering wealth from oil and real estate, but also for his support of education and cultural preservation. A man who spoke 7 languages fluently, but always preferred Arabic, the language of his ancestors. The audience included royalty from the Gulf states, Nobel laureates, Ivy League professors, and innovators from around the globe. At the heart of it all sat *** Sheikh Ahmed bin Khalid Al Hakim ***, a man of imposing presence and sharp intellect. Among the sea of well-dressed guests, almost unnoticed, moved a merry young woman of 24 with observant eyes and quiet confidence. No one knew that Amira had once dreamed of becoming a professor of Arabic literature. No one knew that her father, Zaid, a beloved village school teacher, had died of illness when she was 16. Phones buzzed beneath tables as a few tried to Google the phrase, but no one answered. But every night, after long shifts, she read books her father had left behind: Ibn Khaldun, Al-Jahiz, Al-Mutanabi, and of course, the Holy Quran. While others her age went to weddings or festivals, she sat under a flickering lamp, reading texts aloud, repeating verses, analyzing rhythm and syntax from the side wall. Amira stepped forward. Her voice was calm, her eyes focused. Arabic was her inheritance, and she would not let it fade. That day, Sheikh Ahmed stepped onto the main stage, microphone in hand, wearing a bisht woven with gold and trim. Today, he said in Arabic, "We gather to honor those who give, those who build bridges through knowledge, generosity, and wisdom." The room, mostly filled with English-speaking elites, relied on translators. Subtitles flashed across monitors. But before we present awards, the Sheikh continued, his voice echoing, "I wish to test the soul of this gathering." From Surah Al-Furqan, verse 63. He paused. "I shall recite an Arabic proverb, one not of business or politics, but of character." He then recited, correct, word for word, and in spirit. "And when the ignorant address them, they say, peace." Silence. Some turned to their assistants, others whispered to interpreters. The Sheikh waited. He scanned the room, disappointed but unsurprised. Then, from the far corner, a voice spoke softly. "I can translate it." Heads turned sharply. The Sheikh raised an eyebrow. "Approach." She walked. Slowly, every step echoing in the grand hall. "Standing before the world's most powerful," Amira said. "The verse means, and when the ignorant address them harshly, they respond with words of peace." She paused. "It speaks of true believers, not those who respond to provocation with pride or vengeance, but with dignity." The Sheikh's expression shifted from curiosity to admiration. Gasps, applause. Began, slow, stunned. Then it spread. People stood, The sheikh looked at her. "What is your name, daughter?" "Amira bint Zaid," she answered. "Your father's daughter indeed," he murmured. The sheikh turned to the moderator. "Give her a seat at the head table." "But sir, she is no longer staff. She is a guest of honor." From that moment, Amira's world changed. During the luncheon, she sat next to scholars from Oxford and Doha, presidents of NGOs, and film directors. Yet she never once bragged, nor lost her grace. A woman from UNESCO leaned in. "Where did you study?" "At home," Amira replied. A stunned silence, then nods of respect. That evening, as guests left the hall, Sheikh Ahmed invited her to his private study in the conference center. "You reminded me today," he said, pouring tea himself, "that knowledge has no uniform. That true fluency cannot be faked." He told her a story how, as a young man, he had been dismissed in Europe due to his accent, how he had vowed never to judge another by appearance. "You humbled this room," he said, "and reminded me why I built this foundation." He offered her a scholarship, not just to any university, but to Dar al-Kalam, the world's premier institute for Arabic language and Islamic heritage. "But I cannot leave my family," she began. "Then they will come with you," he said, "or I shall ensure their care in your absence." She published essays on Arabic poetry and semantics. She was invited to speak at conferences, universities, and embassies. Amira began studying full-time. Her teachers soon realized they had not admitted a beginner, but a hidden scholar. Each week, she visited local schools, speaking to young girls in uniform, reminding them that intelligence is not dictated by background, but by belief and effort. She walked past the staff with a kind smile, thanking them for their work. A banner behind her read, "Language is the light of legacy." 3 years later, she graduated with distinction. Her thesis on *** linguistic ethics in Quranic dialogue ** was published in 3 languages. She returned home not as a maid, but as a lecturer. Over the next 5 years, thousands learned Arabic through her digital lessons, including orphans, refugees, and foreign students. Her approach combined tradition with innovation, teaching classical grammar through storytelling, reciting proverbs alongside Quranic passages. She then founded Beit al-Lugha House of Language, a free school for girls in her village, and later, online. She never forgot her roots. At the 10th Al-Hakim Summit, Amira returned, this time in an elegant abaya of deep navy, not through anger, not through shame, but through mastery of words, wisdom of heart, and the courage to speak when silence was expected. She was escorted to the stage to deliver the keynote speech. Her topic, "The soul of a civilization lies in its words." When she finished, the sheikh, now retired and seated beside her, stood with pride. "This," he said, gesturing to her, "is why we build schools, not palaces." At the dinner, a teenage boy approached shyly. I am learning Arabic from your videos. I am from a small village." She smiled. "So am I." From a whispered verse in a grand hall, a young maid had risen, and every time she quoted the verse again, and when the ignorant addressed them, they say, "Peace." She did so not as a servant but as a scholar who taught the world to listen.